Hey guys, we're here with DeepCool at Gamescom 2024 and I want to show you some of their new products. These are the two that have really caught my eye because these are new. The problem is we actually went to DeepCool's factory and went to Computex and saw them there. So kind of seen a lot of the stuff that they're showing, but these are new. So we've got the CG580. This is a whole new design basically for people who maybe wanted something like the CH series but just wanted something a little bit more affordable. I believe this is going to be coming around sort of 70 euros, 70 pounds, probably $70 as well. But the really cool thing with this is if I turn it around, the fact that firstly it's got two glass panels, one on the front, one on the side. But if we turn it around and take the side panel off, we can see that it does accept BTF motherboards. So it has got the connectors coming down here, along here, and also at the bottom for ASUS BTF and MSI back connector motherboards. So it's got fans. Fan support on this is pretty plentiful for a case of this size. On their little information, it does say 9 fans, but I think that might be a typo. I think it can only actually support 7. So we've got 1 fan here, 1 here, 1 here, 3 along the top, and then obviously the rear exhaust one as well. I might be a little bit wrong. It might accept more, and maybe there's room to put them on here because there are a few little sort of screw mounting points, but it doesn't look like it does accept 9 fans. I think it is only 7. But really cool design of a typical DeepCool. It's going to be available in black or in white, and really, really affordable. DeepCool have always been good at trying to get cases that have a lot of features while also being affordable. Now, in terms of radiator support, if I take the top off, you can see that we can fit a 360mm in here, while simultaneously also having the ability to put a 360mm down the side next to the motherboard. So I think in a case like this, because of the fact that you are going to be able to use, say, DeepCool's FD fans, which are daisy chainable, so you're going to have no problems with cable management there, and then you've got the kind of ability to use BTF motherboards, so all the connectors are at the back. I mean, just looking at that and having this kind of fishbowl design, you're not really going to see any cables whatsoever, apart from maybe the power connector that's going to the graphics card. But they have also thought about that as well, because when you look down here, you can see there's a little cutout just on here that will allow you to take your, say, 12VH PWR connector or your 2 8-pin connectors and plug it straight into the graphics card. So you still have, I guess, a little bit room of for customization, should we say, and having it look as clean as physically possible. Now, talking about customization, that's probably the biggest thing of the show, and that is what brings me on to this. This is the CH560R, and as you can see on the front, they've kind of gone with a horror theme, so Scream with a ghost face on there and the word Scream. These are actually made possible thanks to these tiny little kind of rubber, I guess you could call them rubber grommets. So they call them pixels because they are, the size of a pixel, and you can just squeeze it in, push it in, and basically come up with, a very different design. Now, the cool thing with this case is not only on the customization side, which I will talk to you about in a little bit more detail because I have got some other cases that have the same mantra, the same design philosophy over there. But again, with this case, 560R, if we take this off, firstly, the side panel is fully magnetic, so no need to unscrew anything, no need to kind of pop anything in. You can actually see the magnet, there's a point here, and there's also a magnet point there, and it's just really, really easy that you can do it with one finger and close it. I really like the fact that no one else has really done anything like that. It's always kind of screwed in and stuff. We do have plenty of ventilation on here as well, which is really nice to see, but you still get that full view of your motherboard. Now, speaking of motherboards, that's where things really get interesting because, again, very much like the CG, we do have the back panel connectors for BTF motherboards, for ASUS and MSI motherboards. In terms of airflow, again, it has got a lot. You are, I guess, potentially going to restrict airflow slightly by putting these pixels on there, but that's down to you and sort of your individual design choices. But you still have the ability to put 3 120mm fans in the front, and then if I take this off, you can see that we have the ability to fit a 360mm rad or 3 120mm fans in the top, as well as, by the looks of it, 140s. So plenty of air ventilation down here with the power supply, plenty in the back as well, where we do have room for another fan. But yeah, overall, pretty nice case, and it does come with this VGA mount as well, which can be moved up and down by the looks of it. So if you do have, say, a larger, heavier graphics card like an RTX 4090, you have no problem with that. And this a little bit more expensive than the CG over there. I think, like I say, that was €69, £69. I think this one's going to come in at about 79. But I want to talk to you more about the customization, so let's head over there and talk about that. So speaking about customization, we have actually seen this before at Computex, as well as some coverage that we did when we went to DeepCool's offices in the Netherlands. And this is actually really, really cool. I really like this because with a lot of cases, it's really hard to differentiate, I guess, making it different to what other brands are doing. And I think DeepCool have actually come up with a really cool idea with the pixels. So these are just little rubber stoppers that you can basically take out, and then you can make up what you want. We were actually going to put eTeknix on here, but we realized we haven't got as much time as what we wanted to put kind of a full eTeknix on the front of this case. Would take, quite a while. But I actually really do like this case as well. The CH160, it's got little handles so you can just pick it up, take it away. Essentially, this is going to be great for, LAN events, maybe taking your system to a friend's house so you can play a few games together. But with the added kind of customization side with the pixels, which are, like I say, just lots of different colored rubber bits. They do come in individual packs if you want the colors, or you can actually buy the case bit bundle, which just comes with various different colors. But what I actually want to show you sort of on top of that, because this is just one example of what you're able to do. DeepCool have actually put Gamescom 2024 on there. But if we head over to here, what we're actually find is they've got 3 other cases here, just really giving us, I guess, an example of how things can look. So this is the CH170 digital. We have seen this one before. Again, we did see it at Computex. Kind of clue is in the name. It has got this sort of screen bit down there, so you can get all of the vital information that you'd want. We can actually see it better in this picture up here, where you can see your CPU temperature, GPU temperature, maybe even fan speed and things like that. As always with DeepCool, available in black and white, but you can see what you can actually do just to kind of give it a little bit more of a design flair in terms of the color scheme and just making it your own. This is just an example of one of the cases they've got. They actually had this in their Netherlands office, so we have seen this before, just showing kind of what a modified case can look like. Nothing really too much to talk about here, but really, really cool design. But again, moving then over to this one, we've got Gamescom coming down the side and 2024. Again, just kind of giving you an extra sense of customizability with their cases, what's possible to make your case stand out, look a little bit different from the others. And we do know, obviously, DeepCool are very, very aggressive with their pricing. So even when you factor into the cost of having these little rubber pixels, it's still a really affordable case that's going to be completely different. There's not going to be any that are exactly the same across the world. Now, that's it really for cases, but they have got some coolers. We have seen them before, but let me give you a quick rundown on those. So starting things off with the Mystique ARGB. This is probably one of my favorite coolers, not just from DeepCool, but sort of across, the tech industry. The reason I really, really like this all comes down to this. This is a 2.8-inch IPS LCD screen. It's 640 pixels by 480, 750 nits of brightness, and 16.7 million colors. I mean, you can see, obviously, they've got Carlton on there doing the little dance to Tom Jones, but just the clarity on it is really, I guess, better than a lot of the competition out there on the market. This is a 360 model. It does come in various different sizes if you do want that. And also the fans have the ability to be daisy chained. As you can see over here, it just makes things, I guess, a little bit easier, a little bit cleaner inside your case, which you've probably seen with their cases and a lot of the products that DeepCool are doing. They are, focusing quite heavily on the aesthetics and just trying to keep things as clean and crisp looking as possible. So this is actually available in 240mm and 360. Does look like they've actually dropped 280 from this particular model. I guess there's just not enough reason to go for a 280 when most cases, if they're going to support a 360, will then obviously support 240. As we move down, we've got the LP240 and the LP360. So this is the 360, this is the 240. The main thing with this is enter the matrix. So it's all about the design on top of the pump head, which is a matrix array display. So 14 by 14 pixels. At the moment, they've kind of got it going along, I'm guessing, to some kind of audio beat. So you've got kind of that waveform there, but you could essentially put whatever you want on there. So we can actually see on here that they have got temperature readouts and things like that. And again, you've got the same with the FD12 ARGB fans, which are, again, with the cables daisy chained down here, which just, cleans things up a little bit. And yeah, it looks really, really nice, and it's going to be aggressive on pricing. Then 240 over here as well. Not really too much to talk about, just a slightly smaller version of that. Now, coolers is an interesting one because down here we have the AN400. They do it in silver and they also do it in black. This one's actually the black one, so the AN400 BK. It's basically a compact, quiet, powerful cooler. You can actually get a really cool, I guess, view of the bearings inside. It just looks very, very industrious with kind of what they're doing. It's a 6-pole fan motor. It's going to be great for small form factor systems, maybe even a little server if you're maybe building a NAS or something inside your office. It's going to be great for sort of, hitting that sort of market of being, powerful, small, but still being quiet at the same time. Now, as we move down, the big focus for DeepCool on their air coolers really comes down to the vision side of it. They want to really have something that's going to look great inside your case, but also give you that ability to measure the vital statistics of your system. So we can see on the top of this one, what we've got is our CPU usage, so it's currently at 3%, temperature 55 degrees, how much power it's using, and the DeepCool logo as well. We have also got a little bit of added design flair with the ARGB on the side. I just think it looks really, really cool that you get the ability to have something that's not just a solid top on there. And if you want something a little bit bigger, then as we move up here, essentially we've got very similar sort of readouts. So we've got the temperature, we've got the usage, the power, and also the frequency that the CPU is running at. So again, you just get a really nice looking design, really, really clean and crisp looking. And again, we have got that addressable RGB around the edge. Now this is the big one for me though, because this is the Assassin 4 VC Vision. So VC means that it's vapor chamber. So we did actually show this at Computex, but wanted to show it again now. It looks like it's in its final form, ready for customers to buy. This has just got a slightly bigger readout on top. So CPU temperature, we've got the usage, we've got power, and then we've got the frequency. But I really like the design of this. The Assassin 4 is, I guess, essentially one of the best air coolers on the market, and they've just expanded on that even more. I love the fact that when you look at it, we have got a view of the fan on this side, but if we pan round to the other side, you can see that we've got the heatsink, and it just, I don't know, it's all encompassing and just looks really, really nice in terms of the design and the style, but then with that added design flair on top. And I actually think this is going to be probably one of their best coolers, maybe for people who are originally going from like a Noctua DH15 or other coolers on the market like that. This just offers something a little bit more. So for coolers, that's basically what they're showing at Gamescom, but with coolers, obviously, we do have fans, and we did touch on the FD fans, so let's go and check them out and see what's going on there, as well as a really, really small power supply. So these are the fans that we actually saw over there on the AIOs. So essentially, you do have choice, and I really like that with DeepCool, the fact that you can have black, you can have white, you can have black with ARGB, you can have white with ARGB. So what we've got here, FD140, no RGB in white, and then we've got the addressable RGB in white. And then exactly the same for the black. So we've got the addressable 140 and then just the plain one. Obviously that is going to be reflected into the price. You're going to pay a little bit more for the addressable one. But these are all daisy chainable as well. So again, keeping that whole real kind of clean aesthetic. And then we've got the white 120 and then the ARGB version and then the black and the ARGB version. So yeah, you get full sort of lighting control over the ARGB. Plug it directly into your motherboard with the standard 5-volt connector. Really, really cool, really, really quiet. And do you know what? They actually feel really, really good quality as well. Me personally, I do prefer the ARGB because you don't have to have ARGB. You could have a single color, you could have multicolor, or you can just turn it off. Obviously, if you're going to go into building a PC and you don't want any RGB, then you have an option there instead of paying that higher price for the ARGB version and then turning it off anyway. Now, the last thing I want to show you is power supplies. So we again saw these at Computex. This is the PN850M power supply. So it's a gold rated, 80 plus gold. It's also cybernetics gold, ATX 3.1. So you've got gold rated Japanese capacitors. Then it's got a 140mm fan in the inside, which is actually pretty impressive considering the size of it. I don't know how well this is going to pick up on camera, but if I sort of put my hand next to it, hopefully it gives you an idea as to how small this actually is, and yet they've still managed to encompass a larger fan in there, which is obviously going to run a little bit cooler, a little bit quieter. Now, this is actually available in 650 watt, 750 watt, 850, 1000, and even a 1200 watt power supply in something quite small. The cables are actually really nice as well. They've got this kind of weird braiding on there, but I actually really, really like it. It's really sort of quite slim cable, so it's going to be really easy to manipulate inside your case without having to sort of, bend the cables, especially with something like a 24 pin, which sometimes when they're kind of braided all together, they're really hard to manipulate and twist. Whereas this, you can see you've kind of got full flexibility over it, which is really, really nice to see. In terms of the connectors on there, you have also got the 12VH PWR direct connector, so no need for any adapters, with the fact that this is ATX 3.1. Now, the main thing I mentioned about with this is obviously coming down to the size, but this is really what I want to show you because this one is absolutely tiny. This is the PX850S. It's an SFX power supply. It's, I mean, again, putting my hand up against it, you can sort of see the size. It's absolutely tiny. It's ATX 3.1, it's got PCI Express 5.1 standard, so again, you've got that direct 12VH PWR connector, which you can probably notice the connectors on this one are a little bit smaller. Because of the size of it, they have had to go smaller, but the 12VH PWR is the standard size, or so 12V2X6 as they're calling it now. Gold rated by Cybernetics, and also this one's 80 plus gold, and available in 650, 750, 850, and would you believe it, this is available, this tiny little thing, in a 1000 watt model. I mean, that is pretty impressive. I haven't got any word on pricing on this at the moment, but you know, again, it's DeepCool, it's gonna be very aggressive on pricing. And I think, yeah, they've got some really good products here at Gamescom. So yeah, looking forward to what they do in the future, because just from everything that we saw at Computex and at their offices when we went to visit them in the Netherlands, you can see that things are, you know, things that maybe we saw in the early stages are now ready to ship, ready to go, and available with stockists. So there you go. Hopefully you enjoyed this went to say Computex. Hopefully you enjoyed this Gamescom coverage here with DeepCool 2024. It's been an interesting one, and we're looking forward to getting a lot of these products in and testing them for ourselves. Yeah, see you in the next one, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.